3 days. 3 days until football is back. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. And here to discuss a huge issue with me is my dear friend Ade Oladipo. Ade, in fact, before we get into this, do me a massive favour. Subscribe to Ade's channel. It really helps me out. It really helps him out. He is a gentleman, a dear friend, a scholar, and his channel is wonderful. So make sure you click subscribe over there. But now, the point at hand. The signings are in. Don't get me wrong, there'll still be some movement. I'm sure that we're going to see some big names still move. But generally speaking, clubs have found their feet. And what we're going to do on this video is decide who is the one single success story. Who is the jewel in the crown of all of the transfers that have happened this summer? There are some obvious ones to put on the table.
Yeah.
But what we need to do is come to a consensus by the end of this video. We need to agree that whoever it is the signing of the summer.
Not easy. Not easy. When you think 1.2 billion has been spent so far. And we're filming this, and there's still a couple of weeks left until that window slams shut. 1.2 billion. And there's been some big ones, like you say. The obvious ones, obviously, Haaland, Nunez, Richarlison, Jesus. But I guess what we're asking is who's going to make the most or the biggest impact for their club, which is going to have real change for their club going forward in the next sort of 9-10 months. And that's difficult.
Yeah, that's a good way to quantify this, actually. Because it's a very difficult thing. What we're trying to do is quantify something that's fluid.
Yeah.
But I think your definition there actually really works. So if we say, who is the player that is going to have the biggest and strongest and most significant impact on the team that they've gone to?
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
And that then, I guess, makes everyone... It moves the goalpost a little bit for everyone as well. Because I think 99% of people would immediately go, Haaland. Because he's the probably the best player that's coming out of all the transfers. But we're asking, you look at the team, what they needed, and have they filled that gap? Man City are already champions.
Yes.
Man City are already the best team in Europe. The best team in Europe.
In terms of reimagining or revolutionising Manchester City, I'd say that Haaland is actually fairly insignificant to the City juggernaut. Yeah. City, with or without Haaland, would definitely compete for the league title.
City, with or without Haaland, look, I'm a Liverpool fan. Favourites to win the league without Haaland.
Yes, yeah.
He comes in, they're double favourites now, but I mean, it doesn't move too much. We're talking who moves the needle that bit more for their club.
Okay,
that's what we're asking.
Easy to start. I've got the first name to put on the table immediately, obviously. Gabriel Jesus at Arsenal.
Big time.
Big time. In fact, while we're at it, let's start with Zinchenko at Arsenal.
Yeah, Zinchenko's a big one because, look, they've struggled with Kieran Tierney. Right, as good as he is, and I hear a lot of people sometimes, especially me as a Liverpool fan, it was Andy Robertson or Kieran Tierney, who's the best left back that Scotland have produced in recent years. He's always injured.
Yes.
Always injured. They've tried Nuno Tavares. That didn't work. Didn't work so bad that Arteta was like, okay, let's put Xhaka in there. Never played left back in his life.
You lose him in the
midfield.
And then you get an average centre.
Now you've got Zinchenko, who can not only play, look, threefold. He can play left back. He can play left midfield. He's a winner.
Yeah.
He's come having won the league title. And there's something about having a winner in the changing room, the dressing room. When things start to get a bit bad, like you wonder if they had him the back end of last season. A winner's mentality when they're just trying to cross over that line and they stumbled. You never know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he would have done it, but you never know. He could make a big impact this season.
So that's interesting what you said there. You said a winger and a left back. Let's just, an imaginary scenario here. Kieran Tierney's fit, playing well.
Yeah.
Zinchenko fit, playing well.
Yeah.
Do you think Arteta plays both of them in the same team? They're not competing with one another.
Yeah, 100%. And he might change that formation sometimes. One thing about Arsenal I thought last season was only plan A.
God, Arsenal
it was plan A. Very much
window.
Very much great window.
Very
Very Bielsa-like. If it doesn't work this way, we don't have a plan B. Now, with Zinchenko coming, and if Tierney is fit, they can maybe look at it and think, okay, we can go a bit more defensive in that midfield area when we do go to the big boys and we just want to get a point. So I think he plays both if they're fit. But again, we've seen it with Tierney for the last couple of seasons. He won't be fit. I really hope he is because I like him. He won't be fit. So I think Zinchenko's a big one.
Okay,
Big one.
I agree. So now let's focus on Gabriel Jesus, who I think is arguably the best signing of the window. Not definitely. We'll come on to who I actually think.
Okay.
But one of the contenders. Gabriel Jesus, it revolutionises that Arsenal front line. It changes everything. Arteta and his vision of football is finally provided with the tools because everything that Arteta likes is that effervescent, lively front four, the interchange, and all score around about a dozen. Not one 30-goal striker, all score a dozen. That was never going to happen with Lacazette. The immobility of Lacazette was never going to allow that. Whereas Gabriel Jesus, press, brilliant. Run the channels, brilliant. Finish, very good. a winning mentality. We've won 4 out of 5 leagues. I think that in terms of elevating that Arsenal front line, in terms of giving Arsenal a real opportunity to change the trajectory of the way their club has been over the recent years, I think one single signing, this is up there, man.
Mate, this could be. I'm very interested to see what your number one is. I kind of feel like I know where it might be, but this might be number one. I saw him score in pre-season, and he wheeled away like, I'm the man. I'm the daddy here now. And obviously, at Man City, he's never been that. He won't even be in their top 5.
No.
You know what I mean, never. Like,
Nor Brazil.
Nor
Brazil because of what happened at that World Cup.
And because of what they've got around him. Do you know what I mean? He walked away from that goal that he scored in pre-season, I don't know who it was against, thinking, this is my house now. And let me show you what I can do. And it won't be easy because this is a guy that never been reliant on to be the main man. It's been Kevin De Bruyne, it's been Aguero, it's been Mahrez at times, Sterling at times. He's now relied on you have come in, big money for Arsenal, big wages, deliver.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see whether or not he can handle that pressure of being the bride as opposed to the bridesmaid, which has been for the last sort of 6 years at Man City.
Yeah, I think that this is it now for Arsenal, isn't it? This is it for Arteta. Yeah. It's deliver now, and I hold my hands up, or effectively you get the tic tac.
Yeah, he could do. I mean, that kind of money. Look, no one gets. Even Arsene Wenger, Arsenal legend, didn't get that kind of money towards the end of his tenure to spend because obviously moving into a new stadium, etc. Arteta's have big money.
Big money.
They've backed him. Big players. And look, all the players so far have done okay.
Yes.
Your Ramsdales, your Odegaards, your Ben Whites have all done okay so far. So he's had a good strike rate. Now, though, with a bit more money, Zinchenko. I remember, these are players that are coming when they're not offering Champions League. So, they've offered a bit more wages to get them. They must have. So to get those two as well, and maybe a couple more, we're hearing about Tielemans, big window. Yeah. Strong window.
For real.
Yeah.
Do you know who I think we need to discuss next? We have to take a short tube journey from Finsbury Park to Seven Sisters, just a couple of stops. Yeah. I think it's Richarlison. Like, when I think about all of the players at Tottenham, in terms of the elevation, look, I know Basuma deserves a mention here. You can talk about Perisic, but I think it's Richarlison. I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but just hear me out. They've done something special here signing Richarlison. What they have done is improve a position where they are already elite. And that is actually the hallmark of champions. That's actually a champion's manoeuvre. Yeah. To improve where you're already wicked. To sign a player that you don't desperately need. To sign a player just because you can. Just because you want him. Just because he does a bit more for you. Just because it gives you another opportunity. That's what they've done with Richarlison. And that isn't a Tottenham move. So in terms of what he is going to give, he can play with Kane, he can play instead of Kane, he can play with Son, he can play instead of Son, he can play with Kulusevski, he can play instead of him. Scores big goals. Proven Premier League player. All of these attributes are worth their weight in gold. Does it change who Tottenham are?
Yeah, it does. Sorry to cut across you. It does. Big time. It reminds me a bit of, and this isn't, a full comparison, but it reminds me a bit of that United team that had Rooney, Ronaldo, Berbatov, Tevez. You've got Rooney, Ronaldo. You don't need Berbatov or Tevez.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're going to get them.
But everyone needs
them.
Tevez.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to get them because you know what? If Rooney gets injured, Tevez warm up.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So Richarlison might not start. It could be Kulusevski. But now, what they've got coming off the bench isn't Lucas Moura. What they've got coming off the bench isn't Bergwijn.
Yeah.
What they've got coming off the bench now is a little snotty, arrogant so-and-so that loves the challenge. He will think, trust me, Richarlison will think, I'm going to replace Kane.
Of course
he will have that arrogance about him. Like, I'm a Brazilian international. I'm going to take your place. And that's wonderful.
So he should think that.
Yeah, and I hate it.
Yes.
Hate it.
Yes, he is exactly what they need as well. That edge to his character.
Ooh.
Maybe Tottenham, particularly Tottenham in recent years, maybe they haven't had that snarling... Yes, underbelly. Yeah, underbelly. Yeah. Do you know that snarling aggression that can take you a long way in football? Like Chelsea Chelsea with a midfield of Michael Ballack, Frank Lampard. Snarling, aggressive, fearful. You need it.
Oh yeah, look, I'm a Liverpool fan. I hate Richarlison.
Mate,
he will go to Anfield and not care.
He embraces the rivalry.
Oh, and he's going to go to the Emirates and
score.
He's going
and score.
Oh, guaranteed. Take my money now. I'm telling you now. Put a bet on. Richarlison will score at the Emirates.
Not saying Tottenham win that game.
No. I'm not saying they win the game. And he will run to Arsenal fans. That's what he will do. Undoubtedly. That's him.
And he'll do his thing. He's got that weird celebration. He does a chicken or something, doesn't he?
Oh, I can't stand.
If we're doing a player from Tottenham because they've had a very active window, I put Richarlison on the table because he'd be my shout. Do you agree? It's not Perisic. If we're picking one.
No, for me it's Basuma.
It's Basuma.
Yeah, it's Basuma for me, just because I know he starts.
Yeah.
So he's coming in. He's a guaranteed starter. Conte will look at him and think, you're starting for me no matter what. And Richarlison won't. I don't know if Richarlison starts the season, because that front three that ended the last season for Spurs, some people said it was the best front three in the Premier League, and I'm not going to argue with that, even as a Liverpool fan. Whereas I think Basuma comes and he gives them that still that I think, and I know they had a good midfield, but he elevates it.
Yeah.
And I just want to know if he can. Look, no one watching this right now, unless you're a Brighton fan, watches Brighton week in, week out.
No.
But every time I see Basuma against the big teams for Brighton,
He's mustard.
He's mustard.
Mustard.
Against Man United, against Man City, Liverpool,
Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, mate.
He never goes hiding. So I think Basuma in that midfield will allow Kane to not come deep. Will literally say, you guys stay there, I've got this. I've got this here myself.
Yeah,
so I think he's a bit bigger for me than Richarlison.
Do you know what people will be watching this video thinking now? They'll be thinking, why on earth have these two fools not mentioned Erling Haaland or Darwin Nunez yet? And I think we should probably tackle that, because I imagine that we're both in the same boat here.
Go on.
In terms of being so significant to change your team to be the signing of this window, I don't think it is either of them. Simply because, but we should tackle it, because people will be going, why on earth haven't you said Haaland? It's Haaland. The reason it's not Haaland is because City, with or without him, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
The reason it's not Nunez is because it's questionable whether Liverpool have even improved signing him, because they've lost Mane.
Yeah, and not only that as well, I think it's questionable, and I think Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp showed this by the team that both of them started in the Community Shield. Liverpool went Firmino up front, and I don't know at the start of the season, and Nunez could be that guy, but I don't know at the start of the season if everyone's fit, if Nunez is a guaranteed starter for Liverpool. He might go Firmino, he might go Jota, who got 21 goals last season. So I don't know if he's the guaranteed starter. I don't think the pressure's on for Nunez to go in and you've got to score 25 goals because Mane. I don't know if it's like that with Liverpool now.
No, it's not like Gabriel Jesus.
Gabriel
Jesus, score.
You have to.
Bruv, score, please score.
Now. You've got to, because if you don't...
we need a couple.
Yeah. If you don't, we've got a problem. Whereas I don't know with that. We've got Salah, who will get the 30. Again, we've got Jota who'll get 21. And I think that's the same for Man City. I don't think they're going to change the way they play just to suit Haaland. He's got to come in, a bit like Grealish, and find his feet first.
Yeah, I agree.
He's been bought for 10 years, not for one season.
Totally agree. I think it's just important to cover that.
Of course.
Now, I would like to announce the winner of this.
I love 1 second. Is this a conversation or are you going to announce the winner?
I would like to announce the winner. I'm sure you agree. The winner is North West London's Raheem Sterling.
Go on, no, get on the train first. Get on the train from
we got to go
Park.
from we get on the train. We get on the train at Seven Sisters. We go. We will go a couple of stops to Highbury and Islington.
Yeah.
We'll get off and we'll go on the North London line all the way around to West Brompton Station.
There you go.
And we will then walk from West Brompton Station straight through the cemetery, in fact, to Stamford Bridge. Yeah. And that is where Raheem Sterling will be announced as the winner of this window. I think Chelsea have had a pitiful window. I think Chelsea's conduct this summer has been terrible. But there is a diamond within this window. And Chelsea signing Raheem Sterling, the biggest compliment I can pay him, the easiest way for me to describe how I feel about this, he becomes Chelsea's best player immediately. Of course, he's best. He's immediately, you can make a case for Thiago Silva, but it's very different. You can make a case for N'Golo Kante, but it's very different. In terms of Chelsea's attackers, the levelling up is just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Frightening.
It's ridiculous. We've gone from Timo Werner to Raheem Sterling. We've gone from Christian Pulisic to Raheem Sterling. Yeah. It's non-comparable. He is immediately so much better. And to demonstrate the point, let's be really hostile to Raheem Sterling. Really hostile. What is the minimum amount of goals that he scores for Chelsea next season?
In all competitions?
No, Premier League.
12 to 15. Minimum.
Okay, to demonstrate the point. Last year, Chelsea's top goal scorer was Mason Mount with 11. The year before was Jorginho with 8.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that Raheem Sterling, the worst it can be, is better than our top goal scorer over the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, it's levelling up big style. Again, you look at the players that have played on that left for you. You mentioned Pulisic, who... I used to love Pulisic, by the way. I used to think, oh my God, this is Eden Hazard part 2. Can't keep fit. And even when he is, doesn't play well. Timo Werner's horrendous. Like, you know, he wouldn't stand out in the Championship. I'm not joking. So you then up it with Raheem Sterling, who's 27, guarantees you goal. You know, like that term guarantee. He guarantees you goals. Always fit. And I think he's coming to London with something to prove.
Yeah.
I think he's coming to London. his last season at Man City, him and Grealish were fighting for a position.
Funny, I wanted to just bring that out. You said something to me when we were on the tube earlier, when you were talking about how Grealish needs to have a good season and the pressure's on Grealish a bit, and I was kind of disagreeing about the pressure because City are going to be brilliant with or without him. And you said the pressure is on him because of Sterling.
Because of Sterling.
Mate, explain that, because I think you're bang on.
The pressure's on because of Sterling. Last season, it was him or Sterling. And obviously, Grealish is coming for £100 million and Sterling's been there, and it looked like Sterling was getting phased out a little bit. And Grealish and Sterling going back and forth. And that's okay. That's going to happen, right? Competition's good. Sterling's gone now. So now, okay, Grealish, now you deliver. And look, there might not be pressure on Grealish to deliver because they've got so many other players. I'm telling you now, if Sterling goes to Chelsea and starts smacking them in 5 or 6, City fans are going to be like, 1 second.
Yeah.
What are you doing? We've sold a guarantee here. Got you for 100 million. You're not delivering. You better start delivering.
And Pep will have him out.
Pep will have him out immediately. And I think Sterling will.
The worst thing
Sterling
that could
will
happen
because
for
he
Grealish,
has to.
Like the worst thing that could happen for Grealish. You know, if we're 8 games in, Raheem Sterling's second or third on the top goal scorers thing. Like that is the worst thing.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
4 or 5. 4 assists.
Yeah.
A couple of man of match displays.
Please.
There's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grealish has a problem then.
So cards on the table. I've made my feelings perfectly clear. It's obviously North West London's Raheem Sterling. What are you going? If you're like cards on the table, every player, not even the ones that we haven't got into in fine detail. Who do you think is signing of this window?
I'm going to go Jesus. It's so close. I'm going to go Jesus just to be a bit different than you. I'm going to go Jesus.
No,
just
I think you're possibly right.
Yeah, exactly. Just because I look at what they've got and I look at Saka and Odegaard and Martinelli and Emil Smith Rowe, and I think all you need is someone to put the ball in the back of the net. Yeah. You've got so much going on there, so much pace and guile and skill. You haven't got it. You've got it now.
Yeah.
You've got it now, and it's proven to be. So I'm going to go Jesus, but it's very close between him and Sterling.
There we have it. Thank you so much, Ade Oladipo. Exploring that with you was a dream. I thoroughly enjoyed that. My vote is obviously Raheem Sterling. Thank you, everybody, for watching this video. Before you go, do me a massive favour. In the description below is Ade Oladipo's YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe. I will see you all on the next video. But before I'm out, do me one favour. Comment below who is your signing of the summer. Peace.